Welcome to another session on Create and Manage WBS. The work breakdown structure is a hierarchical arrangement of project deliverables that breaks the project into manageable sections. It helps organize, plan, monitor, and control the project effectively. For your information, here we can see a typical work breakdown structure, or WBS, for a project called XYZ. The WBS is a hierarchical breakdown of the total project scope into smaller and more manageable components. At the highest level, the project is divided into four major phases: engineering, procurement, construction, and testing and commissioning. Under engineering, we have activities such as design and review and approval. These activities involve preparing engineering documents, drawings, and obtaining the necessary approvals before execution. The next phase is procurement, which includes material procurement and vendor approval. This phase ensures that all required materials, equipment, and suppliers are identified, approved, and procured on time. The third major phase is construction, which is further divided into civil works, mechanical works, electrical works, and instrumentation works. These activities represent the actual execution and installation work at the project site. Finally, once construction activities are completed, the project moves to the testing and commissioning phase, where all systems and equipment are tested to verify that they function as per the design requirements before handing over the project. This structured approach helps in better planning, scheduling, resource allocation, progress monitoring, and overall project control. For your information, the WBS shown here is only a sample for demonstration purposes. In an actual project, the WBS can be much more detailed and complex. Depending on the project's size, complexity, and specific requirements, there may be several additional WBS levels and numerous sub-WBS elements. Large projects often contain multiple phases, disciplines, areas, systems, and work packages, resulting in a highly detailed hierarchical structure. Therefore, the actual WBS structure will vary from project to project based on the scope and requirements of the project. Now let's start. Open our required project. To do this, select the project, right-click on it, and choose Open Project. Once the project is opened, navigate to the Activities window. We are going to create the work breakdown structure based on the structure discussed in the previous session. For that, go to Project menu and select WBS. Review the structure once again to create WBS. First, we will create the major WBS elements. Add four main WBS categories. It is similar to Add New Project. By clicking the plus sign in the right side of the window. After creating these major WBS elements, rename them accordingly. Engineering, procurement, construction, testing and commissioning. Next, we will create the sub-WBS under each major WBS. Under engineering, add two sub-WBS. Design, review and approval. Under procurement, add the following sub-WBS. Material procurement. Vendor approval. For construction, we need to create four sub-WBS. You can either create them one by one, or copy and paste an existing WBS and if require, arrange according to the project requirement and then rename them as Civil Works, Mechanical, Electrical, Instrumentation Works. If you need to rearrange the order of the WBS elements, use the arrow buttons available on the right side of the WBS window. In this example, we repositioned the Electrical Works WBS to place it in the correct sequence within the Construction WBS. These options allow you to move the selected WBS up or down to organize the structure according to your project requirements. The WBS structure is now organized and ready for activity creation and further project planning. Now, we can change the layout of the WBS. To do this, go to the Layout button and click Open. If you have made any changes to the current layout, Primavera will ask whether you want to save those changes. You can click Yes to save the current layout or No if you do not want to save it. You can select any available layout according to your requirements. In this session, I am selecting the WBS chart layout, which provides a visual representation of our work breakdown structure. If you want to display the WBS details in the bottom layout, simply right-click in the WBS window and select Details. You can also arrange the WBS chart according to your preferred view. To do this, go to the WBS layout option and Arrange. Since the chart is currently enlarged and difficult to view, I will first hide the bottom layout. Then, I will right-click within the WBS window and select Zoom to Best Fit. This allows the entire WBS structure to be clearly displayed on the screen. To return to the previous layout, click Layout option Open and select the earlier saved layout. Again, if prompted to save changes, you may choose No if you do not want to save the current settings. You can also customize the columns displayed in the WBS window. To do this, right-click and select Columns, Customize. A large number of available fields can be added based on your requirements. Simply select the required field, click Add, and then click Apply. The selected column will appear in the WBS window. Then, if you want to remove a column, go back to Columns, Customize, select the field, and remove it. Similarly, you can display or hide the bottom layout either through the View menu or by using the Details button available on the toolbar. Now, let us review the tabs available in the WBS Details section. The default tabs include General, Notebook, Budget Log, Spending Plan, Budget Summary, WBS Milestones, Work Products and Documents, and Earned Value. Similar to Project Details, you can customize these tabs by right-clicking and selecting only those that are relevant to your requirements. Finally, go to the Activities window, where you can see all the WBS elements that we have created. If the newly created WBS does not appear immediately, simply go to the File menu and click Refresh. With this, our WBS creation session is completed successfully.